What's up, everybody? It's Joe La Puma. You are listening. You're watching the Complex Sneakers podcast. As always, I'm joined by my two friends, Mr. Matt Welty.
We got the bad energy out of the air, and we're here.
We're here together. I don't know. The bad energy. He wore the T-shirt though. He still has the T-shirt. The Omen.
I gotta milk this car crash for all it's worth.
To my left, Mr. Brendan Dunne in
the Nexus T-shirt.
In the Nexus T-shirt that he was
discharged me from Castle Hospital.
That one day
will
be in
March 12th.
The Sneaker Hall of Fame in the rafters. How you doing? To be honest,
great.
the face looks a lot better.
Got my stitches out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably shining on camera if people are watching because I'm supposed to keep it pretty ointmented up. So we got a liberal amount of Aquaphor.
Is it Neosporin or is it even stronger? Who?
Aquaphor. I didn't know about it either, but, PSA, if you get... Actually, no, I'm not giving out medical advice on this podcast.
What percentage, because it's, clear now, but, last time, because everyone was, questioning, I'm sure you saw that one Instagram post where everyone was, commenting on it.
No, I did not look at it.
I thought you got beat up over shoes.
When we posted there
was a video.
Hold on.
I'm not reading
You didn't
any
read
of the
any
comments.
YouTube comments from last week?
No, I can't.
Not the YouTube, it was the Instagram, I think, was
though, you didn't read any?
No, I didn't. I read the ones that added me.
Okay, not YouTube though.
The YouTube was all positive because
it was.
Love it.
Thank you, everyone, and because I feel like the people who are on YouTube are the people who are cued into what's going on.
I did see some funny style comments on Instagram,
and the Instagram were the funny ones are people who saw that for the first time and they're like, "What's up with this guy?" And I'm like, "Dude, seriously?"
You know what? I will.
Okay.
We're talking about good energy, and I don't want to spend too much time on the negative energy, but I did see some crazy comments.
Did you held back from
There was one person I responded to and it was somebody who didn't even follow me in some, it's as it always is, some private account with no followers and no posts, and they said, "Oh, you did this for clout. It looks like reckless driving." And I was like, I responded,
get
even
into
though
a
I shouldn't
car accident for clout.
And also what do you mean for clout? I posted on my Instagram something that happened in my life, and also reckless driving. No. So I feel bad for even entertaining that or even talking about it here, but yes.
All right, you're here.
I'm here.
I
have the Nexus T-shirt on. What does it say on the back? I think it says, "You're either Nexus or you're against us."
Good slogan, though. Good slogan.
Squad, right?
Good. The WWE has good slogans sometimes.
Yes.
I think that might have been NXT. We'll see.
Also, aside from the negative comments, I appreciate everybody's well wishes, and it's been an outpouring. The majority, 99.99% of positive support. So I appreciate everything anybody has said.
Definitely. A lot of people, like I said on last week's, a lot of people asked about you. And,
we're fine.
You're progressing.
As handsome as ever.
Yeah, look great.
Arguably more handsome. No comment.
Okay. I'm back. I'm back from Florida. I've been there 11 days.
Dennis Rodman.
11 days. Dennis Rodman. That episode is up right now. Very proud of that one.
Did you guys get to hang out with Dennis Rodman other than the shoot?
We actually did hang out with Dennis Rodman after the shoot.
He took you to Olive Garden like Travis McCoy or what?
Wasn't Olive Garden. Welty brought that up, but we got to hang with him. It was just a really good vibe on set and a lot of, I think I told you yesterday, it's like the episodes that have guests with so much sneaker history.
Yes.
It's really good. The audience takes away things that maybe they didn't know in the past. And Dennis told some great stories. It was a really good, really good vibe on set. And we hung out with him after. Dave Matthews hung out with him.
Dave Matthews was all up in his space.
Dave Matthews was talking about the Spurs and the Cowboys and all this stuff.
God.
But we had a nice
Jasmine
meal.
would have held her composure a lot better.
Of course.
How much more do you love doing those episodes where there's just actual tangible topics to discuss more than obviously, and I'm not saying that me and Brendan.
You
do
guys
the same thing with Full Size Run too, where it's where things where you have to be like, oh, how much do you love Jordan 1s?
Sometimes you step into an episode and you don't know.
Right. I would say how I not being diplomatic, but I do enjoy stories no matter where they come from.
Yeah.
But there is something cool about this Dennis Rodman to talk to Good Burger, to talk to Tom from In Style Shoes, to talk to some OGs about because they really remember all of Dennis's stuff. So that. I like stories from no matter who they're coming from and how old or whatever. But this is where you start thinking and you start thinking back to those days and look, even doing a Getty image search for the episode, you're like, man, I remember this. And
you know what bit I loved? The part about his tattoos on the Converse sneakers because quite recently Joe Freshgoods had said that he was trying to get Converse to retro one of the Rodman sneakers, but Converse couldn't retro the sneakers because they didn't have the rights to his tattoos.
And he said
Name
that.
aside. Yeah,
he said that
exactly.
they would have to pay me.
Yeah.
The other thing is, Salehi was on the Joe Budden podcast, and I think Joe or one of the co-hosts asked him what was your favorite sneaker? And he was like, this was before the Rodman episode dropped. I was like watching it Saturday, and he was like, Dennis Rodman had the shoe called the Indestruct.
Okay.
And it was
Set the stage for you.
yeah.
I
So
love
like
that.
he said that, I was like, oh man.
By the way, can we go back to Joe Freshgoods real quick?
Obviously, always.
Because I think Welty cracked open some news.
Oh yeah, that was
On
really
Twitter.
random. That was not expected, and like it kind of
And
took
we got to
off.
get Joe back on here. But
We
go
do.
ahead.
Took off. I had just, sometimes you get like a random thing that you remember, and you're like, hey, that would be like a cool tweet to put these things together because, I don't know, people appreciate looking at old sneaker photos and stuff,
Yeah.
or things they don't, like little tidbits they didn't know about sneakers. So if I remember one, maybe I'll throw it out there on Twitter sometimes. No intention of it. But I remember like seeing on RIP, we always say Gary Warnett. I remember seeing on his blog, there was like the old photo of Mike Tyson.
Barism.com.
Yeah, wearing the gray suede New Balances, but also Mike Tyson. There's like the photo of him boxing in like the all white like walking New Balances.
Mike Tyson's a mainstay on Trainer Spotting too.
Yeah,
That account.
Yeah. So shout out our guy Sergey who runs that. But I had like compiled like 4 Mike Tyson photos and just like kind of jokingly like, New Balance needs to give Mike Tyson a sneaker collaboration. And then out of nowhere, Joe Freshgoods responds to it.
Yeah.
I've been working on it. LOL.
He's working on
I've
a lot
been
of
Look at
trying.
that.
And I'm like, wow.
Who knew you brought back the pick stitch and broke some sneaker news?
Oh, I hope it comes to fruition.
That'd be great. You get take
Yeah.
credit for that one? Yeah, you know he is.
But
you
that
know
one
he
is
is.
like, hey,
Well,
you know
you
what
know
I
he
did?
is. Put it up. You know he's.
Never hesitate to take credit. Hey, F1 is back.
So I've thought about this.
You've thought about F1?
No, yes, I've thought about this over the past week, especially because when a group of people are talking about something, they're all talking about the same thing. I usually know, even if I'm not familiar, what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And apparently, what new episodes went live,
Well,
and even
Yes.
there was a race, but new episodes of that show went live.
Netflix Drive to Survive.
And I need to get on
Yes,
that.
I
Okay.
realized that on Twitter, and I was like,
I love it.
holy shit, there are so many,
Yep.
and I don't want to say bandwagon, but like all.
I mean, 100%. I didn't know anything
no, and
about F1
I'm not
ago.
calling it out, but it was like you've never really seen outside of like the core like 3 people who
Yeah.
were like
Damien Scott.
yeah, people like that
Yeah.
who
OG, Damien
Yeah,
Scott,
I
OG,
love
yes.
having
you
Damien
knew
in my
were
phone
like-
'cause-
OG.
Sorry, I'm
Yes.
texting him all the
Yes.
questions about like
Yes.
I don't know anything about the sport, but every day I'm like texting Damien like, what about this? What
Yeah.
about
yeah,
this?
you knew about racing, and then all of a sudden it's just like people like just random like sports people like posting all these memes and stuff about like Lewis Hamilton, and
Yes.
you're like,
Toto Wolff. So, Joe, you're hopping on the bandwagon.
I got to start watching that show, and
Ferrari is off to a good start this season. Ferrari.
Okay.
That was like an Italian.
okay.
So-
You see the wait, they have the hats though that I had.
yeah.
Pirelli,
Yeah, so
Might be
I
a
got
good time for you to.
I got to get on that. For sure.
Okay.
I've
And then
been-
we need Daniel Ricciardo on sneaker shopping. Do you
put it-
co-sign that?
Put it in the air. Say it again.
We need Daniel Ricciardo on sneaker shopping.
Yes.
Drop a comment, but we need him.
Any other racers?
We had
drivers?
Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah. I'll
I know
I'll
that
pick some
there-
names for you.
Yeah, I know I know some
Since I'm a
names.
huge fan.
I'm learning.
I still put on there you need to get Michael Schumacher.
What about Michael and Mick? Because his son Mick drives in F1.
Okay, just keep bringing them. Keep bringing them. Bring everyone.
I have been going back down the UFC rabbit hole
All right, I'm tapping out.
recently, literally.
Pun?
Go ahead. You like that? Go ahead.
Because
Go
the
quick.
no, like
No,
the
it doesn't have
past
to be quick. Go
All right,
ahead.
you have 3 minutes.
the past few weeks, whatever. Like after not to bring it up again, but like after I hit my head or whatever, I like was just laying low, not doing much.
Yep.
Like on the weekends, I wasn't like going out or anything. Just hanging out. So I'm like, hey, I need something to do. So obviously, totally legally streaming UFC fights.
Copy that.
This past weekend, they had the fight at the O2 Center in
Big.
London.
Big.
Patty the Batty.
Oh, that's the
Showed
kid from
out.
Liverpool, right?
Yes.
Patty
Hell
the
yeah.
Batty.
Yeah, I fuck with
delivered.
Okay, I'm back in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our mutual friend, Joe Connolly, who does marketing for
Yes.
New Balance in the UK, he's a big Liverpool supporter, and he's like,
Okay.
Patty.
Joe's from Liverpool. Why did I
Yes.
think Joe was from Manchester?
No.
Okay.
He's gonna,
Sorry, Joe.
He's going to choke you out for that one.
Yeah. Choke me out.
He had said that Patty went on the same coach bus to the matches.
I remember you telling me that story before.
As him and his friends who support Liverpool. So I was like, oh, this guy's actually like really out there.
I love that.
Yeah, Patty's a star, man.
Yeah.
Sneaker
And there was
shopping?
the woman too. I forget.
Yeah, Molly
McCann.
Yeah.
Meatball. I think is her nickname.
And those two together just running around the arena, grabbing Dana White.
She was gassed. She went out super hot, and then she out in the third round out of nowhere she threw like a turnaround elbow and just hit the girl in the chin and just R.I.P.
Speaking about UFC, you know what UFC is really good at? YouTube compilations, like really good. Like
I feel the same way about F1.
Whoever, like, there's so many accounts that do like UFC history of Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor trash talking compilations, or like this compilation or that compilation. Really, really good.
Conor McGregor posted a very questionable video on his Instagram
Boxing?
over the weekend. No, of lifting weights.
I didn't see that.
I did see your lifting weights. Come on, you're
dude.
back at it,
Dude.
Also, should we address? I think I saw last week the best and worst feeling. What was that? I have it.
Oh, when I'm laying on my back?
Yes, I have it actually.
Yes.
But did you see these videos he was posting?
Yes.
What do you call that, Welty?
It's called the hang power clean.
Well,
In my thighs, I have a bruise about this
Do
big
the
on my
motion
thigh.
for me. You're holding the thing.
You're
and
doing
kind
it,
of like
banging it
snapping.
off the legs and kind of like catching it back and just cycling it.
Let
And
me
that's
tell
good
you.
for you?
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Why wouldn't it be good for you?
I'm
seems risky.
I'm back in my chair because of lower back problems. I saw that. I saw you doing that thing, whatever it was.
nervous,
I got a little nervous watching it. I'm worried about my posture and the standing desks.
You still have the video, right? Because we got to put the
Yes.
video
Yes.
in this episode.
It's like they say, it's like, if you think lifting weights is dangerous, being weak is more dangerous than lifting
Hey,
weights.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that. I was outside a bit this past
Were you?
weekend. I made a big step.
Heard you went to ALD?
I did go to ALD.
Oh, let's hear it.
Did I tell you about this
What day?
already?
No,
Saturday or
so-
Sunday?
Friday.
Dennis, friend of the pod,
Tedisco?
Yeah.
Tedisco
Yep.
had posted like an IG story.
Yeah.
Where I think he was sitting at a table and Action Bronson was like across from him.
Danny Nunez was right there.
And I was like, oh, what a flex. Like just hanging out, like
Yeah.
casually hanging out with Action Bronson. And he goes, the bigger flex was Dunne showing up to ALD or something like that.
Describe it. Your
So-
first time.
I mean, you know what?
Take all your just describe it as with no preconceived notions.
Can I first describe the preconceived notion? Because ALD is a spot that I've never been into because I'm always like, it's a scene, and I don't
Definitely
know.
a scene.
I don't know anybody there.
You don't
and
wanna
I feel
partake in it?
No, it's not that I don't want to partake. I love the stuff that they do, and especially like hanging out there over the weekend outside for a few minutes. I was like, now I have to buy something, but I feel like bashful or shy or like I don't fit in here. I don't know these people, but I saw that Dennis was there, and I think he had posted a picture of Danny Nunez out front. What up, Danny? And I was like, oh, I'm kind of coming into the city right now. Like maybe I'll stop by because I was doing some business right around there. And
Doing some business?
You go to the magazine store across or no?
McNally Jackson. And I was
Okay, go ahead. I don't want to derail. Go.
no, all good. So I pull up and Tedisco is there and Danny is there, absolutely holding court. And if anybody belongs there, it's Danny Nunez.
I think I saw him.
Absolutely.
Did he have like a jersey on or
Yeah,
something?
he had I think a Ewing jersey, like a Knicks jersey. But he was talking to and Action Bronson was right there, and Teddy was there, who I didn't get a chance to say hi to, but we nodded at each other, you know. But I think Danny was saying to Action Bronson, I was worried about wearing this jersey because I felt like you might have had a Knicks jersey on too. But it was a wonderful time.
Did Teddy recognize you?
God,
I think I felt like he knew who I was.
Well, I mean, I'll say that because the whole I guess pretext to that was you had said the reason why you won't go to.
Well, I did just break it down a little bit.
Yeah, but the direct quote from Brendan Dunne was
There's no way this is the verbatim. Actually, your memory is good enough to where
Yeah.
I
All
right,
can
let's hear.
verbatim.
and then you wouldn't go in because you thought that like they didn't like recognize you or something.
You're not going in a store because they don't recognize you?
that and then Brendan's direct quote was, "You know who the fuck I am."
Halfway joke.
Wow.
I think you had said you
okay.
would walk past the store and the
58%
store
joke.
employees like didn't like acknowledge like or give you a head tap or
Damn,
something.
drywood up.
And then you go, "You know who the fuck I am."
I mean,
Wow.
It was a partial joke, but like I said, part of me not having been in there yet has to do with, again, like some stores I'm just like, I don't know if I can go in there.
You're not built for it.
Do you know what I'm describing?
No.
And it's not because I don't like the product. It's just like
Here's an example.
you feel bashful, or you remember back in the day when like certain streetwear shops, you'd be like, "Oh, that's too cool," and like I'll be weird in there.
Not
You know
now,
what I mean?
though.
Well, no,
That's just how I felt, and it's nothing to do with them. It has to do with my weird,
it's like an example of like, so there's like a bar next to my house that I used to go to quite a bit. But like everyone there knows each other, so everyone's sitting there kind of like talking to each other.
This is it, 100%.
And then
Again, they didn't do anything.
and it's like a
my
small,
weird
it's a
shit.
That makes
small
sense,
like,
yeah.
it's a small like 15-foot bar. But then if you don't know anyone, you just have to sit at the end kind of by yourself, and everyone's talking to each other, and you don't want to be the one person sitting at the end of the bar,
Even
not
though
in a conversation.
you don't walk in, they go, "Oh, there's the superintendent of the biggest apartment complex on the block." Really?
But I have to say, outside of ALD, they welcomed me with open arms. Action Bronson, a gentleman as always.
The king.
Good to catch up with Nunez. Good to catch up with Tedesco.
Isn't that block great though?
I love it. I
Did
love
it bring back the feeling of any streetwear sneakers in New York for you, or no?
I think
it
it's-
felt good just being outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to buy something now. Again, this is not. It's not about them.
I've never been there. It's not because I don't want to go there. I just don't hang out in New York
Did you
that often. But the one thing I think that's cool that it feels like from the outside looking in that ALD kind of puts out there is that a lot of retail in the whole Soho area is either like resale shops, which are kind of like, like you're not really,
many of them.
You're not going to go hang out in those places, or places where you're like, you walk past it and there's like 45 people standing in a line.
Yeah.
There's no place where you're like, hey, I'd actually go into the store, buy the clothes, and actually talk to the people who are shopping there.
There's
but
a couple
ALD
places.
feels like a good balance.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
all
But
that.
the cafe is amazing. Did you get anything from the cafe?
No, I didn't.
The
I gotta get
cafe
some
is
Mountain
an
Tea.
added thing.
I still got to get some Mountain Tea.
Really good.
Yeah, once I get it, I think I'm over my. But now it might be even more of a thing. Not that everybody watches this thing, but maybe I don't know.
All right.
Maybe we just made it.
You
work.
got to go back. Go back on a Sunday.
Maybe.
Go back on a Sunday. What else is going on?
Ooh, you know this is always a big day for me. Well, do you know
Earnings day?
earnings calls
Oh,
from Nike?
God.
Yes.
go ahead.
The amount of tweets you got off yesterday.
Brendan
Matt
Rovell?
Kish.
Brendan Rovell?
I love Nike earnings calls, and this was not the spiciest one. I wish there was more in there, but I was enjoying it. This is not like a. This is
What's
not a
the
top
setup?
tier.
Earpiece in, right on the computer? How are we
The
doing
thing
it?
that we joked about, because for those who don't, I think we've talked about it here. Brendan's old blogging method was he had a box of Cliff Bars next to his desk back in like the sneaker news editor days, right?
Sure. Or no, but when I worked at when I first came to Complex Soul Collector. I
Yeah,
had the Cliff Bar.
no, it's not sneaker news. I mean, sorry, Soul Collector
Yeah,
news editor
yeah,
days.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I made a joke saying, "Do you have the Cliff Bar on deck?" And he goes, "No, I don't." We walked into the kitchen or the office. They put out a bunch of Cliff Bars.
Look at
They
they
must
knew.
have known it was earnings
They
day
knew.
for Nike.
They knew your
The
rider.
investor call was coming up. And
on your
said,
rider.
They
Bob.
put
We
on
gotta
your
make
rider
sure
Cliff-
he's at peak performance. Load
Cliff
him
Bars,
up with some fun size Cliff
Skittles
Bars.
with the red ones picked out. Okay.
Decent earnings call, but you know,
Nothing spicy.
Restoring the feeling.
nothing. Yeah. got
They
that.
had to address all the
feeling,
geniuses out there who said that
Oh God.
that
I wasn't. You
Foot
brought it up,
Locker
not me.
wasn't going to sell. Well, Nike addressed it.
That was hilarious. Yeah, John Donahoe coming out to address Footgate. We'll call it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were going to say John Donahoe coming out to Eye of the Tiger. Yeah. Speaking about restoring the feeling, should we give away some?
Sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, we
Yeah,
can't.
sorry.
Why we can't clear that? What are you doing?
Sorry. Let's do the shoes. eBay sneaker giveaway of the week. I hope y'all know how this works. By the way, let's throw another PSA in there. Please subscribe. Please, if you're listening to the audio, definitely subscribe and leave us a comment because that helps too. 5-star, all that stuff. Every week on the Complex Sneakers Podcast, we give away with our friends at eBay a pair of coveted sneakers. You can enter by going to ebay.complex.com and submitting a question. We go through all the questions. If we answer your question live on the air, we're going to send you a free pair of sneakers. This is only open to U.S. residents. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
And these questions are getting
Everyone's like, oh, if you cared about sneaker culture, you'd open it to like.
these questions are getting better though. The ones we're picking are getting better.
Okay.
Yes.
Who's our question from today, Joe?
Cleveland Mac, West Palm Beach, Florida. Sorry, Cleveland, we just missed each other. I was there in the area 11 days.
I mean, who goes to Cleveland for vacation, right?
His name is
name is
Cleveland,
Cleveland.
not his location. Okay. The question, do you feel like you've grown out of interest for shoes you've previously wanted at a younger age, or does the fact you missed out haunt you at night? First part of the question, really good.
Yes.
Can relate. Haunting at night, little too strong. It's
You
okay.
don't stay up.
No, not up worrying about
Thinking
that.
about Air Zoom citizens.
Exactly. But to Cleveland's point and question, recently I've been going back.
Yeah.
And I think that even on this podcast, like the sneakers that we give away, that eBay is like giving away, it's a lot of going back.
Yes.
The ALDs that you had a couple weeks ago or last week. No, a couple weeks ago. That was one of the newer models that we gave away, but we have been like time traveling a bunch.
Yeah. There's not too much stuff that I wanted when I was younger that I bought.
Is there one?
I guess there's stuff that I bought when I was younger that I was like, why did I do that? Mm-hmm. You know, we always talk about the white leather New Balance 1300s that I bought for $300. But I feel like more often than not, the stuff when I was really younger, like 15, 16, is stuff that I still want for that nostalgia thing. But some of those SB Dunks from that era,
They're too expensive.
and there are definitely a handful of them where like I don't want them as much. You know, like at the time, Dia de los Muertos Dunks were so cool because
but at this point in your life, it's like I'm never gonna wear that shoe.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Maybe.
But then there's other things that feel so of their era, like Bapestas, where I still would, even though that is such a specific shoe for a specific time, I still want like a crispy pair of Bapestas, you know, from 2005 or whatever.
Yeah.
The other thing is we're so old that going back,
it's like
going back, you
wearable.
can't wear half the shoes that we got.
Will crease up.
Yeah.
Like I think like Brendan said, it's like taste changes a little bit, you know, where there's like a lot of things you look back upon and like even if you could get the shoe, you know what I mean? Like a pair of like Supreme Delta Forces. It's like I wanted that shoe back then, never bought it. I think I could have got it on Pick Your Shoes and I passed.
Yeah,
or
those
something.
were on Pick Your Shoes for a long time.
Yeah, and then you know, like, but now it's like if I could get my hands on it, like I wouldn't care to wear it.
Really?
Like
Supreme Dunk Highs with the stars?
Yes.
Probably not. No.
Okay, really?
No, I would. Could you picture me?
Sell them to me if
Tongue
anybody out there.
fucking?
No.
Those
It's just like
tongue.
it
Yeah,
just
you gotta
feels like
tongue fuck.
sometimes it's like there are certain things you're nostalgic for, but I find myself less and less nostalgic for wanting to own things from like my teenage years. You know, like I might find myself listening to Lupe Fiasco, Food and Liquor, which is like that really takes me back to like that early sneaker era.
Yeah.
But I don't find myself necessarily like wanting shoes
To own the shoes.
Yeah, where it's like, or shoes I had back then where I had like Godzilla Barclays, you know, like, I'd never wear that shit.
Imagine.
Well, it's
Imagine
funny because
2022 Welty in the Godzilla Barclays.
It's funny because I'm not going to lie. Like I definitely looked up some Indestructs this weekend on eBay and things like that. The ones that he never wore on court going for $3,500. Crazy. But I've been doing it a lot. I mentioned this in Slack. I've been doing it a lot with like Wheaties boxes and classic magazine covers. One that I recently got, Kicks Magazine. Russ Bankston was the editor-in-chief. Quentin Richardson and Darius Miles, two iconic when I was in college playing basketball at UConn on the outside courts going like that, like I was the third member, the fourth member. But yeah, I've been going like memorabilia a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so the shoe that we're giving away though.
Oh yeah, we haven't even got to the shoe, and I think you hinted at it, and I don't know what sneaker this is that we're giving.
He
away.
knows.
I know what it is.
Should I do the unboxing like Rodman? Just like rip it open?
No,
It's a slide.
Don't do that to Cleveland.
It's a slide.
Okay,
Yeah.
slide it out. A Nike basketball shoe, which you don't see much on here. Yes.
Okay.
Woo.
If you know, you know.
Yes.
And let's talk about it. 2008, I think 350 pairs.
Man.
Original Nike Hyperdunk.
The
me
Nike
see that.
Hyperdunk.
What about the Hypermax? I like the right. Back to
So
the
I
Future.
was wearing Hyperdunks.
Let me see
like,
him.
Here he goes. Oh, see.
Sorry,
Imagine if they crumbled.
I'm left-handed.
All right. So literally, how are we gonna get it?
This is like the Sistine Chapel right
Oh
here, Joe.
God! And it's suede. You better here.
Don't Cleveland. That's my fault.
Don't
not
worry.
Joe's.
So I was wearing those to Complex. I was wearing the red and gold. I think it was a China colorway.
Yeah, I remember those.
The Hyperdunks, such a great sneaker on court.
2008 Olympics.
But
Yeah,
these,
Flywire.
Yep.
these,
The Redeem Team, as they were dubbed. It was because after 2004 was that team with like Iverson and Garnett that
Melo was on that team.
was
right?
not very good. And
yeah.
They won the bronze medal that year.
but they came back and won the gold against Spain. Pau Gasol.
look at you,
Rubio?
Stephen A. Welty. Okay.
I think I just remember the game being on at like 6 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
And these, to me, one of those one of those shoes Complex covered extensively back in the day, but like everyone knew that you couldn't get them. And then, you know, Kobe had history. Kobe pulled up to with the DeLorean.
Was that
Undefeated Santa Monica.
Was that the shoe that he also jumped over the car in?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Was working at Foot Locker, not when that colorway came out, but when the original Hyperdunk came out. There was a black and white colorway.
Were you blowing out of those at Foot Locker?
Oh, yeah. That shoe, like, there was actually a lot of people coming in because I feel like Nike basketball had been kind of dead for like a minute where there wasn't like a really... I don't want to say hype, but like a shoe that got people excited that was like a team shoe.
Yeah.
You know, that was like the period where like Amari Stoudemire had a signature shoe that was like awful.
You know, it was a great shoe though I think it was around this time, Air Zoom Huarache 2K4.
Sure.
There was that, but that was 4 years before that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's
my dates.
But it was like that era was like LeBron 4s, like big clunky shoe, you know, there wasn't really like that greatest. I think the Kobe 3 or 2 was out, wasn't the greatest shoe. But then when that shoe came out, people were really excited for that, and they sold really well.
Well, I hope Cleveland's excited.
Cleveland, you're getting these. Would you wear these to go get coffee? With some sweats, gray sweats?
I wouldn't wear those, but I like that. I like that shoe a lot.
I would. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if you wear this. This is a really good shoe.
Yeah,
350
with the logo
pairs.
on the tongue and stuff.
Great color blocking.
It's called the Hypermax, right? The other one, remember that, the Hypermax?
Yes, that's the one that they did. I
like that one a lot. Back to the Future and the Volt colorway.
They also, believe it's the same shoe that they also did the White Men Can't Jump colorways in.
Oh, okay, nice one.
So Hyper Dunks headed to you, Cleveland, West Palm Beach. Shouts to West Palm Beach and Wellington. If you know, you know. And
I don't know.
These are headed to you.
All right. Should we bring on our guest for the week?
We definitely should.
We've been without
OG
guests for a little
sneakers.
bit now.
OG sneakers.
OG guest.
OG sneakers.
Joe, you might have to sniff
that noise.
Joe, you might have to sniff that shoe before he comes.
OG sneakers. OG guest. We talked about some YouTube compilations for the UFC, but we're here to talk OG sneaker YouTube.
That's right.
And when I say OG sneaker YouTube, let's be honest. Before Full Size Run, before sneaker shopping, a innovator in unboxings, Mr. Carlos Sanchez, a.k.a. SneakGeekz. Welcome to the Complex Sneakers Podcast. How are you, man?
I'm good. Joe, thank you for inviting me.
Of course.
This is gonna be. I feel like we need you to like do your drop as we come in. You know, I need to hear like the take me back.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I actually have a pair of unboxed kicks that I haven't opened up. That's that I was saving for a special occasion. I was like, oh, maybe I should, but I didn't want to.
Oh no!
Wait,
live unboxing.
Wait, how long have you been holding on to them for?
Not that long, but they are maybe about 5 months.
Okay.
But they are, since we may be talking about crypto, it is a heavy duty crypto related sneaker.
Can you tell
drop.
us what the sneaker is?
Yeah, it's you guys. I don't know if you guys heard of Artifact.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You're wearing the Artifact hoodie right now.
Yep. So there's an Artifact hoodie, Jeff Staple Artifact collab that they did, and so they also did. It's kind of how I got into NFTs. Is I was looking for sneaker related NFTs, and Artifact was doing their thing, and so I picked up a Jeff Staple pigeon.
This is before Artifact was acquired by Nike.
Yes. Before they got acquired, this was maybe 8 months ago. I can't really remember exactly, 7 months ago or so. But I picked up a pigeon, and then picked up a pair of MK1 sneakers. There were 100 digital pairs issued, numbered, and then they gave one of the things that they did is if you owned the digital, you can then forge the physical.
And we're like, this is not the NFT crowd, and like I feel like collectively our NFT knowledge is so small. When people say forge, that means like you basically like expend the digital token and trade it in for the physical
Not
thing?
necessarily.
Okay.
It means in this scenario, if you own the digital, you can get access to the physical.
In addition.
Okay. So I still have my digital, and then I was able to go to the website, log in with my Web3 website. So you log in. So instead of using a username and password, you log in with your MetaMask, your wallet, your digital wallet.
We're deep in the hole right now.
I have tough time pulling up the vaccine card sometimes on the New York State wallet, but we're following. Okay.
Not to like, I want to get into the YouTube stuff too, but I just want to say, don't you think it's kind of crazy though that like when those staple artifact shoes dropped, that like they were like going for more than the actual Pigeon Dunks?
Wow. Yeah, I mean they're.
But we can both agree though, and I don't want to like get too much into argument about it, but that like those shoes really aren't. Those shoes really aren't like the artifact staple shoe should not be worth more than the staple Nike SB shoe, right?
It depends. I mean, because I've seen, I think didn't a staple go at Sotheby's for 80
A pair
grand?
of Pigeon Dunks.
Yeah, Pigeon Dunks.
Quite a bit of money, yeah.
For 80 and 90
So I thought
grand?
Jeff had like posted something where he's like, "Oh, the shoe's now worth more. The artifact shoe was worth more than the actual like Pigeon Dunk."
Yeah. I mean, it's open for debate because there are plus and minuses, pros and cons of having something digital versus something physical. And I'm not saying that one is better than the other.
Yeah.
It's it all depends. But yeah, I mean, at one point the digital Jeff Staple was $80,000-$90,000.
Wow.
Now I think it's 30,000.
Is this an NFT related sneaker?
No, this is not. This is not. Yeah.
What is the shoe you have on your feet?
These
'Cause
are
we do gotta talk about the shoe.
Atmos collab with Lightning,
Lightning.
Lightning. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
That's what that was. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't recognize it, so I thought maybe I'm doing New Balance 993s. This is my real life shoe. Sometimes we get on camera and we like switch out the shoes every single week, but this is me being honest here on the show.
Yeah.
I'm just wearing New Balance 993s.
And
every
if we're
day.
going left to right, same. That's the perfect way to describe it. This is my look. Laces are torn up. CDG Air Max 95. Like Dunne said, this is what I'm in a lot. Nothing here to flex today. Just another day.
Got these in the mail from our good friends at Sneakers and Stuff. These are the SNS GT NYC, inspired by the meatpacking district in New York City.
Okay. Bringing the meat today.
So wait, Carlos, you're thinking about unboxing that on YouTube, I'm guessing. We'll get into all the deep history, but what if you catch the bug again of like, now we're in the metaverse, but what if you catch the bug? I think the last one 4 years ago with the Jordan Spizike?
No, I don't think so. I kind of stopped doing Spizikes a while ago, but I did a cause.
Okay.
One.
Cause
Jordan 4s.
Okay.
Did that and did I think I did some stuff. I was in Dubai at Concept in Dubai, and I think I did some videos there. Tried to do a little like travel. I was doing a lot of teaching, crypto teaching.
Okay.
Blockchain teaching. So I was hitting the sneaker shops throughout. So yeah, those were some of the videos.
Let's go back to 2008 though, when you first decided like
Carmine 6s?
Yeah, well, it was the Carmine 6s. He documented this in the interview that we talked about off camera. But when the unboxings became such a big thing, I think even now, I visit my niece and nephew and it's like not sneaker unboxings, but unboxings in general. The kids are so glued. When did you have the first thought of doing it? You were such an early adopter.
Yeah, I don't know. I was fooling around on YouTube and always thinking about the digital industry and a way to break into that. I had a fitness business. Was posting some videos about the fitness business. The videos didn't really do anything because I wasn't that creative when it came to that. And at the same time, was doing pretty good financially and was buying sneakers. And I was like, wow, no one, but I wanted to find out more about the sneaker. You would read articles and there would be photos, these 2D photos. And I was like, I want more. I need a 3D perspective. I need to see the bottom, the sides, the inside.
You need to smell them.
Sniff test, yes.
And so I was like, wow, no one's making videos. Why isn't anyone making videos? And I think I'm gonna do it. And it just, at the first video, I don't even think I showed my face. I was just like, here's the video. I mean, here's the sneaker I got. And, but yeah. And then that blew up. That video, I think, I can't remember the blog, one of the blogs.
I just remember seeing a lot of it on Nike Talk, of people sharing it on Nike Talk back in the day. Because it wasn't just that you were unboxing sneakers, you were unboxing sneakers that hadn't come out yet.
Yeah.
That was it. And there was the whole question of how does this guy have these shoes? Are these shoes real or not? Like what's up with these sneakers? Because you had like foam posits and Jordans all before they came out, like a month or two before they came out.
Yeah, no, it was ridiculous.
How were you getting the shoes back then?
Well, back then, you know,
Air Randy?
Was it Air Randy?
Yeah, all that.
Wait,
Of
you have to explain Air
Air
Randy.
Randy,
for
we
people,
need an
'cause
oral
people-
history on Air Randy. Do people know who he is now?
I don't think that people today know who Air Randy is.
Those black, was it the black background photos?
Like the Marquis Soul type
Yes.
Okay,
Every
wait,
time
wait.
we were blogging, every time you blogged.
So you were getting the shoes from Air Randy.
I was getting
Sometimes.
shoes from a lot of different places.
okay.
Can you help explain Air Randy to people?
So, from what I could remember, because it's been a while, is basically a website that would have the shoes 6 months. I want to say 6 months. I don't want to go long, early.
Yeah, several months.
Yeah,
Pristine photos also.
yeah, and they were, and at that point, nobody really knew. Some people might have knew better than I did. People were saying, those got to be fakes, or those are fakes.
Questionable origin.
Right. And
Gray
other
market.
people were saying, and those just like huge debate about what is a fake, right? And I think Nike finally, or the community finally labeled, if it doesn't come from the store, a licensed retailer, I think is what finally the verdict was. If it's not coming from a licensed retailer, then it's fake, from what I remember. So anyway, you were able to get, all these sneakers early.
Over retail, right? Like
Yeah. You were paying a premium for that.
How much?
If I maybe shoes were $300.
Yeah.
That might have been
Like a $150 shoe, you were paying like $300.
right, probably $300. At that point, it became more of a let me just get the shoe early so I can make a video.
Doesn't it seem crazy though that like nowadays though, like spending $300 for like an Air Jordan doesn't that doesn't seem too bad, like with the whole resale market.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like back then, people were like, oh shit, $300, like you're getting head cracked for those shoes. You know?
Yeah. And it was, I mean, it was crazy. The whole, what potentially how those shoes were being manufactured, because there was a whole debate about they're being manufactured in official Nike factories and they're using official Nike materials. And that they were being done after hours. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Did
how
you
they
look
were
at
being,
this as a business at the time? Like, were you making any money off the YouTube videos?
It was. Oh yeah, I was making money off the YouTube videos. I was what did you call it? A partner.
Yeah.
What they call a partner. So you would get. It wasn't a whole lot, but it was getting. We're getting revenue from that, and people would sponsor.
Do you remember any sponsors? I'm always interested in the sponsors from back in the day. I remember there was like
Sneaker Authority was one, I think. It's a name that comes to me, and there might have been the Sneaker Spot. And there were others that would just send stuff. Other people, small websites, they would send stuff and so they could get a shout out. And they would send sneakers, they would send T-shirts, they would send whatever.
Because you kind of had like the videos, it's like you in your room. I think you did one originally like on a porch or something like that, where you were like breaking the shoes out, but you were like sitting kind of in your like collection room with the wall behind it, and it was basically like a mail call, right? Like you were like you would have like 6 boxes, you'd have a huge knife, and you'd be like cutting the box. It would be like really live time of you going through what came in the mail, and you were.
But everything was thought out. Like, listen. I'm not saying that it was like the most cinematic thing, but like opening the boxes with the razor or the knife was like
You might have inspired this guy with
everything
the knife on his desk.
Yeah, everything was really thought out though, right? Like,
initially it was very sporadic or very spontaneous, and then there was a point where I was like, I started to I had to think about it a little bit, and then other people started to make videos. So there was this whole little competition thing, and it was like okay, those shoes came in, but I'm not opening them up yet. I'm waiting till Tuesday where I have time to do the unboxing. So I would have, there were times when I would do multiple unboxings because I just had throughout the week, every day, boxes would come in. Either boxes I bought or boxes that people would ship to me.
Was it like a race in the sense that like, like you knew that like Space Jam 11s were coming out or something like
Dude,
that?
he had
and you're
Space
like,
Jam 11s in August.
but you were like, I need to. do the unboxing of the Space Jams or something like that before everyone else gets a video up because I want my video to rank number one.
Yeah, that was always a little thing, involved in that. Yeah, and I don't really. Yeah, I guess there were people, like Franelations as an example. He wasn't doing like early sneakers. Like, if he did,
I feel like he would do more like a collection video.
Yeah.
These are all my SB Dunks.
Yeah, it was a lot of
or
SB
something like
right.
that.
stuff.
If maybe he got something a week early, but not like So it wasn't that, but there were some people that were going that route, trying to do the early unboxing thing. So yeah, it got to a point where I'd be looking and it's. Damn, he did it before me.
Yeah.
How is that? I'm supposed to be the one.
Were you ever hearing from the brands in any of this? Because I feel like you started making YouTube videos before sneaker brands were really partnering with people on YouTube or acknowledging the people on YouTube. Did anybody from Nike or Adidas ever reach out to you, or were they aware of you?
I had some meetings with some brands.
Good or bad meetings?
Good meetings. Good meetings. Nothing ever came out of it. I remember meeting with Fila once in their office. Actually, we had a couple of meetings, and then I would get, I got stuff from. I think I got stuff from Champs.
Okay.
I don't know if I got anything from Foot Locker or Foot Authority. I can't.
Were independent stores hitting you up to do reviews?
Yeah, mom and pops.
Okay.
Yeah, and which is something I was more excited about. And I've always kind of wanted to, do more of that.
When did you get into sneakers, really? Obviously before YouTube, but when?
I've always been into sneakers, but my taste has always been contrarian to what everybody else was doing. So when Jordan started popping, I was like, because everybody was doing them.
When the retro stuff in the 2000s?
No, I mean when they were just coming out. Because to date myself. No, when they were coming out, I was like, I was thinking about this. I remember Kangaroos, my ponies,
Pro-Keds.
Pumas, Pro Kids, Converse,
Skippies.
all of that before anything came out in leather, right? It was all canvas, and then I think my first pair of Pumas was white on white Pumas, high top, which I freaking adored those sneakers, and then some Reebok pumps,
the classics.
Yeah, those were like. And then it wasn't until later that I started getting into Jordans, and that was because I started researching. And again, I was always a contrarian. I was like, if everybody's wearing it, the neighborhood, I don't want to wear them. There was also the Filas.
Were you getting recognized back then when your YouTube videos started popping up? Could you just skip to the front of the line at a Foot Locker release or something like that?
Yeah, well,
like we do?
No, not like that.
Not ALD.
But I did get it. Was at the weirdest times. It was awesome when I'd be with my family. And the one I remember the most, because I was with my family, my wife, my kids, I was at the Air and Space Museum, the Intrepid.
Okay.
And I was checking out, and the guy, there was another one I just remembered. And the guy was like, "Are you the sneaker guy?" And I was like, "Yeah, SneakGeekz." I recognize your voice. I remember another time I was at a place, and I was talking, and the guy behind me, I was with my cousin, he didn't even see my face, and he recognized my voice.
The voice is iconic.
The voice is iconic.
Jesus Lord.
The voice is iconic.
Are you so-and-so? So, yeah.
Did you stop before, like, the whole sneaker con thing, or you got a taste of, like, sneaker con and stuff?
I think I was kind of peaking when the conferences started to happen.
Okay.
And
Sneaker Pimps, maybe.
Yeah, the Sneaker News when they started to do their thing, and I can't remember the names
Sneaker
of the others.
Pimps, yeah, wow.
But I didn't go to a lot of those. But I did go to I think I went to maybe 3-4 of them, different ones, and then and crypto started kicking off.
I think I remember you posted a video where you're like, this weekend I'm going to be at an event, and it was a sneaker and barber battle that our friend Siraj
Oh,
was
shout
doing
out to
Takeover
Siraj.
at the time. You're like hosting it. You're like, come down to Elizabeth, New Jersey, like at the sneaker and barber battle.
I love that. Man, I want to know too, like some of these releases, was it hard for you to get? I mean, because like Nike Air Yeezys, first Yeezy, you have a video where you have it more. When you had the Louis Vuitton, Kanye West. And
it was so easy to get those.
Really?
I just
how
went
did the
into
Yeezys go? The Yeezy
the
one.
Nike.
Yeah,
Yeezys?
and then the LV.
Yeah, those I just those I bought. I think I bought them out of somebody coming out the store. I went to the store. I think I went to do.
You paid them over retail? As
Yeah,
they were coming out?
I paid them over retail, and at that point it was to make a video.
Yeah.
And also I wanted the shoe, and I got to wear them. I think I got all 3 of them, And not at that one moment, but eventually I got all 3 of them. I bought some on eBay.
Yeah. We love that.
Yeah, and then
Just eBay.
eBay,
right.
Yeah.
So I did buy some money. I bought a lot on eBay.
Keep
And,
going. Yeah, tell us more about eBay.
Yeah.
and it was great. Yeah, a lot of the really hard to find stuff. I just go to eBay, was able to get. But and bought those. And then the Louis Vuitton ones, I couldn't believe how easy it was. I went into the freaking Louis Vuitton store at the Short Hills Mall in New Jersey. And I said, "Do you guys have these?" They go, "Oh yeah, we got them right here."
Really?
The shoes were so expensive too that they were kind of like
you got them
Nowadays,
they were like
Yeah.
at the time they were almost like price prohibitive to like sneakerheads because they're like, I'm not going to spend $1,000 on like the shoe, but you just went in and spent $1,000 and
Yeah, no, they were like, "How many you want?" I was like, "What?"
And the
video
videos were
the video he dropped with them, you didn't say anything, no words, just like
mic drop.
I'm gonna do the same thing when the Louis Vuitton Air Force Ones come out. I'm just gonna walk into the Louis store and say, "Hey, can I buy these? Is that okay?"
But the shoes were paying for themselves because you were doing videos. Is that
Yes.
Is that basically how it went?
Yep, for sure. It was a there was a self-generating thing where I would spend money on sneakers, but then I'd make videos and then I would get some revenue from that.
you became notable for sniffing the shoes. I know Brendan often makes jokes about smelling a shoe and whether the shoe smells real
not a
or
joke.
not.
Yeah. No,
Did you really give the shoes were you giving them like I know you'd give like a pair of foam posits, like the gif of you doing the foam posits, giving them a big sniff test.
Right.
But were you smelling them to see if they were real or not, or were you just smelling them just to smell them?
No, I at a point it was just just to smell them on camera because there was so much happening that
Imagine all the fumes you took in that 10-year period and what
how
that
many
did to your
brain
brain.
cells. but you can smell the glue,
Yeah.
right? And you can determine, if it's a lot of time the shoes that are off, right? The fake shoes, the glue is it's just a different smell.
It's like oily, right?
Yeah, it's a different.
They ever bring you in to authenticate StockX or anything like
have to run
that?
the program.
Did anyone hit you up?
eBay authenticity guarantee.
Yeah, eBay. You never know.
Did you ever go to shoot a video and you go to give it the sniff test while you're recording and you're like, oh shit, these are fake. I got to turn the camera off.
Just
The funniest thing happened. No, not that I can remember that happening. But one thing that did happen is I made a video, and the freaking number, I forgot what shoe it was, but the number was backwards on it, and I didn't even notice it.
pair of Jordans.
Yeah, it was a pair of Jordans. I don't forget which one it was, but there was a number on it, and it was backwards. And I made the video, and I was doing multiple sneakers at the same time. I just unboxed it, and someone said, and that's when everything started to fall apart.
Maybe
Someone said that.
Jordan 9s, maybe?
I think it was.
Because the 23 on the heel, maybe that was backwards?
Something was back. I can't remember which shoe it was, but it was. I think I was making also Kilroy.
Okay.
So anyway, and one of the comments was, "Look at the freaking shoe.
Yeah.
It's back. The number's backwards." And I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Did that fuck you up?
Yeah. I was like, "This is the.
Did it,
This is
wait,
it.
did
This is
it give
the
a
end."
hit to your rep, or
Say again.
did it give like a hit to your rep on the internet?
Yeah. I think people already people already making comments that that it can't be, these can't be legitimate shoes that you're getting because you're getting them too early, and at a certain point I got just so into the making of the videos that I wasn't even, I was just making videos. I was getting shoes, making videos, but when that came, it was a number of hits before I was like, you know what, I think I'm done.
And that's the thing I would say is how many were you making a week? Once a week or even more?
No, it was more than once a week.
And
I was at least 3 a week.
Did you have years where the comments, now, and I know for us, now one hair is out of place, they're commenting. So,
Fuck, is my hair fucked up?
listen.
Wait a minute, cut the fucking camera. It's out.
But did that become a
check.
thing where you're like, I don't need this
Oh,
stress?
yeah.
And did you have years where it wasn't like that?
Well, the hair wasn't gray back then, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's another thing that would come up is like, look at this old boomer.
We get it.
Who's
we
this
get it.
boomer?
Yeah.
Making sneaker videos. Look at grandpa. All these.
But that
comments.
soured it a little bit, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. For sure. And I was like, oh man, this is it's not fun anymore. At first, it was like a big party. It
Yeah.
was a wonderful, beautiful, big old party, and then, you know, and like they say, right, you get the hate, and that means you're doing something. But it got to the point where it just wasn't fun. It was too much work because I was doing everything, you know, the editing, the shooting, everything.
Well, the other thing you were doing too is you had the website, right? So it was like SneakGeekz.com, where it wasn't just the YouTube videos, but it was like, hey, you want to find out how to get all these shoes early? Go to SneakGeekz.com and I'll give you the 5 tips to like.
Yeah, those were my internet marketing days where I just like, you know,
it was like
really deep.
30-minute abs, you know, like, but it was like that for like.
Yes, exactly.
For sneakers. And like, how many people were like emailing or subscribing to those?
Well, I had, at some point at the peak, I had about an email list of about 50,000 people. And I would email them regularly, and that was a revenue generating stream.
How much money gets made off of that, like in that era?
It's hard to say, you know. to be honest, it's hard to say. It wasn't a whole lot. You know, it was.
It wasn't like enough to quit your job, like money or.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It wasn't enough to do that, but. Not like it is now.
Yeah.
You know, there's some YouTubers now that are making crazy amounts of money.
We talked about the Yeezys. Do you remember one review that really broke through or stuck out or went super viral? One maybe that you knew was going to, or one that was unexpected?
I think it was Soul Collector.
Okay.
They had I think it was Soul Collector. They had send in the sneakers and get them autographed.
Okay.
Right? Was it Soul Collector?
I don't know about the program.
There was and I sent in 2 pairs of titanium 23s to get them both autographed.
What a sick shoe.
Great shoe.
Yeah, and that video was, I was like so excited to make that video that, you know, I knew that was going to be.
Who would sign them?
Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan signed Michael signed. So I had 2 pairs.
Okay.
And I said I want him to sign this pair. I want him to sign the left one. On this pair, I want him to sign the right one.
Yo, imagine Jordan gives your shoes a smell test. Real.
No signature, just get.
Yeah, and these were, you know, straight up legitimate. I bought them in the store. Where did I buy them from? I overpaid. You know, I big time on those. And but anyway, and they came with the official hang tag and the whole thing with the titanium 23s. So that was big. You know, that was a big video. I also got the bread 23s that I went to do a lineup, and then I gave up on the lineup and I just bought them off of somebody. That was a popular video. Eggplant foam posit.
Big one,
right? Yeah,
that was a fun show.
That was a big one. And I remember when I got that was a sample, and hitting the stores. And this one store, this one guy kind of took me around and introduced me to the store, and this guy had them there. Store owner, sample.
Do you remember the store?
It was in Brooklyn.
It's not our guy.
It's not there anymore.
It's not.
Premium Pete?
It's not Spicy
No,
Action,
it's not. No.
Okay.
It wasn't there. It's not there anymore.
Okay.
But no, not Premium Pete.
Yeah.
This was, but
on Broadway?
it was on where all the stores are in the mall. Not Flatbush Avenue. What's in Brooklyn?
On Fulton Mall?
Maybe?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that street where there's a bunch of stores.
Yeah.
So those stores aren't there anymore, but they had some samples in there.
I want to ask you about the Galaxy Foamposite, because I've seen you say before that the Galaxy Foamposite in 2012 changed your perspective on sneakers or made you not want to participate.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, because that was a big turning point. It had been building up, right? We kind of talked about the criticisms and. I'm getting sent stuff, and I have no way of authenticating what's legitimate or not.
You can smell it.
So I was trying to get those Galaxy Foamposites. That was the pinnacle.
That was the height of it
those.
At the time.
And so I was going to pay someone to get them for me, to get in the lineup and get them for me. And kind of worked out the deal. Younger kid, and then, you know, it's so funny that you you remembered that. But yeah, and we were communicating, and the shoes were dropping nationwide, and there were riots, and there were helicopters,
mayhem.
and there were and then the kid was like, okay, I'm here, but it's crazy out here. You know, there's and
he was in Orlando where the helicopters were?
You know, I don't remember what city he was in, but yeah, there was mayhem, and I was like, but you know, do what you can. I'll give you extra.
Needed them.
And then I was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
You know? And then it just started. It was almost like a moment of clarity, a moment of like, you know what? I'm being I'm part of the problem here. And I didn't appreciate how some of these brands, how they would handle these drops, where they all they wanted was a notoriety. They didn't care about the safety of the people, and you know, because it could have been done differently. They didn't have to do it that way. And I felt like me just pre-sneaker dropping, just hyping all the sneakers, and people. I went to some lineups and I seen people get beat up. Damn. They'd be there 3 days, front of the line, and as soon as those doors start to open, they're like,
Madness.
"Get out of here! You're not getting inside."
Stuff taken.
And seeing that, experiencing that, I was like, yeah, I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Didn't get the shoes, obviously.
No, didn't get the shoes, and I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be promoting. And I a lot of weird things also happened. At one point, I entered into a contest, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I don't know if and there's videos about that on the channel. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce had a contest known as Free Enterprise. So it's a video contest. You make a video. What is free enterprise? And people will vote on the video for over a 30-day period nationwide. Mm-hmm. The prize was $50,000. That was 10 years ago, I think, 8 years ago. And I was emailing my list every day. Remember, go and vote. And I ended up winning that contest. I ended up going to D.C. I ended up going to a.
You met Barack Obama or what?
Yeah, there was a. Yeah.
You met Barack Obama?
Yeah. Well, I didn't meet him. He was, but they invited me to attend when he was speaking.
Okay.
At a kind of an intimate thing, and that was a whole nother funny story. But
wait, what's
Obama
the funny
doing
story?
the sniff test, or no?
No, but I was there, and I was one of the few Boricuas in the audience.
Awesome.
And I'm just there with there's senators and congressmen there, and I borrowed this camera. I borrowed a lens that was about this big, and I start pulling it out from between my legs.
Service?
And I'm like, this, and he's looking at, I felt like he was looking at me like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Wait, I'm sorry. Was this at the White House?
No,
Okay.
it was at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce
Did you
in
wear
D.C.
sneakers?
I wore, when I accepted my check and my
Oversized novelty check?
recital, when they had there was an oversized check. There's a picture of me with the check on stage. I had the titanium 23s.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I had a suit.
Signed?
The signed ones?
The
No, I didn't have the signed ones.
You get us a picture of that.
Yeah,
But wait, was this a moment for you, like a moment of clarity or something? Like how, like because you talked about how like people were getting robbed over releases, and then you went into this. Where does this fit into?
Well, this happened before this happened before.
Okay.
This was like part of the peak. Like, wow, I made money on this contest.
Yes.
And people voting for me, and
So you were like, listen, I built something that has a real audience that has got me here to see Obama speak.
yeah. And
Okay.
well, part of the video, the video, I had to make a video, and the video was me going to different events. And I said I had a fitness business, and then I started making videos about sneakers.
Got it.
And it was a whole thing about sneakers and me at events and showing people, and talking to people and that sort of thing. Yeah, and the video won the contest. I won the contest, and but that was prior to that. The Galaxies. The Galaxies was toward the end. And I was like, I'm kind of tired of this. I'm not, and it's because everybody has something, right? 'Cause like when I did that contest, then they kind of wanted to use me, for propaganda and stuff. They were like, what's your opinion on this topic and that topic? And I'm like, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to get into the politics of
of
what your platform is and that sort of thing. So I kind of distanced I distanced myself from that organization because they have a certain platform. There's certain things that they believe in, and they wanted me to,
But so you say you talk about like getting out of sneakers. You end up like taking a lot of your sneakers, your Nike or Yeezys, and then reselling them, and then flipping it all into Bitcoin early on.
A lot of my sneakers.
Which you had it was the Yeezy ones, right? Or
Yep, Nike Yeezy ones.
And how much did you resell those for?
I don't. They were all used.
Yeah.
Because I wore them all. That's the thing. As far as when it comes to sneakers, there was a point where I was like, doing kind of collecting, you know, and then there was a point as I evolved and matured, I was like, you know what? If I can't wear them, I'm not buying them.
But you it was like realistically like maybe a couple $1,000s,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you take that money like early. Like what year did you invest in Bitcoin?
Got into it. Trying to remember. It's been about 10 years.
Wow.
So how much?
Team early.
But how much was a
guys are
Bitcoin?
early
Like
on
how much was a Bitcoin back then? Like
Bitcoin was about $50,
$50
$100,
and you took
$200
$2,000 and then put that or like
He's doing the math. He's
I'm just
doing
trying
the
to figure
math. You
out,
know
so
the
I'm just
Zach
like-
Galifianakis gift
Well, you
of
like
all
put
the
like
numbers?
you know
That's what he's
realistically
doing.
like took like $2,000 from a pair of like Yeezy ones or 1,000 whatever,
Yeah.
and then buy a bunch of Bitcoin for $50 a piece.
And now it's $40,000 a piece.
Yeah.
So you made like infinitely like you ended up like making like $1 million or whatever just off of.
I mean, dude, don't listen.
No comment.
Yeah, no comment.
comment.
You don't have to get in his pot. He's doing the math.
No, but I'm
Look,
just saying it's
he's-
crazy. It's crazy
yeah,
how
he
you
flips
turn-
shoes.
Potentially, I made like close to $20 million.
Okay, well,
Potentially, but
okay.
If you did the max diamond hand, never sold,
It
and
never
were sitting-
sold. Exactly,
Yeah, yeah,
never
yeah.
sold. Never got.
But
never
it's just
got
crazy to
rugged,
think that you know.
You said what?
Never got rugged.
Yeah.
But you ended up taking the Yeezys and turning them into like, you know, because the kids think like having the shoe is the pinnacle of like
Right.
wealth or whatever. But then taking a couple $1,000 shoe and then turning it into like
Yeah,
a
it was-
lifetime fortune.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it yeah.
So those Yeezys kind of like changed that whole like investment into it, like changed your life, or
Well, not so much. When I found out about Bitcoin, that kind of changed my life. Not so much that
2012 or so.
not so much that the money as the amount of money or not really that. When I found out about it, and then I went down the rabbit hole. Little, you know, everybody's got that, right? That ADD, and I spent about 6 months just when I found out about it, this is mind blowing. I studied and researched it every day for 18 hours a day, because you know I get up 8 o'clock in the morning and go up to bed till midnight, just reading, researching, studying. And you couldn't go to there weren't any universities, there weren't any books you could read. You had to just be online and get as much information. And then you got to do through trial and error. You get in, you do it, you lose money. You try something, you send money somewhere.
Your
Like
wallet gets fucked up. Mount Gox gets hacked.
You
or
forget
something.
your password, or you
Yeah.
screw up your password with 10, 20, $1,000, $30, $40, $50,000. It's gone.
What?
It's not.
What?
It's not like the Jordan 9 reverse numbers. It's a little different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is consolation to be like, it was easy.
Hold on.
Yeah,
But
what?
you said 50,000 gone because you forgot the password?
Yeah, potentially.
Right.
I'll just say,
Yeah.
No, I've had moments where I had to put in a password, and I did everything that you're supposed to do. And my background, as far as technology, I was in electronic warfare, which involved cryptography. I had a top secret clearance in the military, so I know a bit about security.
Pun intended?
Huh?
Bitcoin? Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, no, but point is, and knowing that, being trained that way, I made mistakes. I had passwords that I physically wrote down, and then I tried to go in, and it didn't work. And I'm like,
Damn.
how is this not working? It's right here on paper, and no, it didn't work. It didn't work. And some of them I got rugged on. Some of them, it all kind of evens out. I mean, you kind of do better at the end. Meaning, I could have lost 40 grand on this one, whatever happened over here, but then you make it up over there.
Yeah.
You know, as an example, with Artifact, I bought a pigeon for like $900, and now it's worth like $40,000.
You going to sell it?
No, actually, I'm not. I'm gonna. That's one of the things I'm gonna really hold on to.
so all the assets that you've like kind of accumulated over like investing in NFTs and crypto and like flipping your shoes for crypto and whatnot, you've just been kind of like sitting on all of it, or is it like I need to cash in on this stuff, or?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I do.
Yeah,
it's your life now, right?
Yeah, so it pays my bills. I pay my taxes, and I've taught internationally, London, Dubai, Malaysia, Singapore, I don't know, other places.
You been to Malaysia?
Yeah, yep,
Love Malaysia.
yeah. And
No follow-up, sorry.
yeah, and That's my point. Yeah, so I made money teaching. I've also I consulted, co-founded a pharmaceutical blockchain business, a big using blockchain as a track and trace platform to track drugs going through the supply chain. This was before we had supply chain issues. Before there were NFTs, I worked with, what's his name? The boxer. Can't remember his name. From the Philippines. He ran for...
Manny Pacquiao?
Manny Pacquiao. Mm-hmm. He started a company called GCOX. And it was, before there was NFTs, was how to monetize the fandism of celebrities. Mm-hmm. So celebrities would basically create a token, and they would offer, if you buy the token, you can get like merch and meet and greet.
Same type of ideas that people use.
Yeah, but before there was NFTs, didn't exist back then. So anyway, my point is that this is what it's what I do. I've been doing it for 10 years. There aren't too many people that.
Have you ever thought about turning any of the OG sneaker unboxing moments into NFTs?
Actually, I have.
Nice.
Wait, so there's going to be an NFT of you sniffing a shoe?
Actually, I have thought about that.
Let's go. I'm investing.
But, you
might have me convinced finally on the NFT space.
I've actually have thought about that. Now someone's going to watch this and they're going to do that, and that's awesome. It's a lot of work. I'm not interested in, at this point, I'm not interested in making money so much.
Must be nice, man.
Yeah, I'm more interested in doing something, that contributes, that gives back. When it comes to something like building a project, an NFT project, you have to first build a community, right? Mm-hmm. That's one of the first steps that you need to do, and really spend time doing that. And that could be 6 months, a year, I don't know, at least 6 months building a community. And then you start off with something small, not 10,000 like Bored Apes or Artifact with the 20,000, something small and see how it goes. Anyway, point is, it's a lot of work. And I don't know if I have the bandwidth to commit to that, to one project. Yeah, unless there was a team. But
couple last questions. What do you think of how big sneakers has got right now? Did you ever see it getting this big as like an early adopter? Did you ever see shows dedicated to sneakers on YouTube? Did you ever see that happening like when you were doing it? And what do you think about the market right now, reselling and stuff like that?
Yeah, no, I didn't see that happening while I was in the game. And seeing it, it was mind-blowing. I remember being at the gym and I saw I forgot who it was. Somebody was doing a commercial for eBay.
It was actually an eBay commercial, or you just
there was an eBay commercial. And I was like, wow, look at this.
And what about like unboxings on TikTok? Do you ever want to pull up like Marlo Stanfield and be like, you remember the OG of this? What do you think about like just like how unboxings have blown up and you were people make careers off unboxings?
There's a lot of emotions on that. It's like, man, I should a lot of thought. I should have stuck to it or kept doing it, and feeling a little jealousy. Feeling some emotions. So have some feelings about it. Like, man, but it's awesome. I mean, I can't have everything, right? I want to have everything. Right. I'm into, but it's awesome. It's awesome, and how it's evolved. The resale thing, it's become almost corporate.
Yeah,
totally.
I mean, it is, right? It's with all the consignment stores. It's a corporate thing. And again, I've always, more like a mom and pop. When I got into crypto and I started talking about crypto, it was because I couldn't believe, the opportunity that offered. And I started to make videos about it. And people, about me making miners. I was building with GPUs and using milk crates to build these miners that you can mine crypto, and telling people about it, and they were like calling me crazy. Everybody was calling. My wife was calling me, my mother, everybody, my relatives was like, you've lost it. And
you say, yeah, I'm crazy fucking rich.
Right.
But it was because, again, I thought this was a great opportunity for someone to be able to pull themselves up. I came from nothing. I was born and raised in the projects in Bed-Stuy Bushwick, in Brooklyn, where desperate poverty, and it wasn't, and that was most of my life. I experienced that. It wasn't until recently, and I say recently, maybe the past 20 years, that my life has changed. But prior to that, it was rough, and but I had some great opportunities, and I was like, I want to share this with people. I mean, when I started doing sneaker videos, my purpose is I wanted to create a platform where I could speak to people, because I was doing so well with my life and with my fitness business and just life in general. But so I said, well, okay, if I start making videos about sneakers, it gives me an in into my community where I can have a platform and I can start talking to them about other things. And which never happened. I just kept making videos about sneakers. Right. And then I found out about crypto. And then I think that was a point where I was able to talk a little bit about it. People didn't really understand it. They called me the Mad Hatter. And then I think I stopped making videos and experienced some of those things that we talked about.
Yeah.
Listen, fascinating. I remember, I really wish I binged YouTube back then as much as I do now, because it definitely would have been like Saturday morning algorithm, just watching all the reviews. But great to have you. We talked about this. We always thought that you'd be such a great guest, and can't thank you enough for coming by, sharing some of your stories. Thanks so much, Carlos.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for what you guys are doing, and for you guys keeping the sneaker culture alive, and so well balanced. I love your show. How balanced it is. Where isn't you're not focused on one particular thing, and like the way you guys started, look at where I'm wearing, look what I'm wearing, my everyday shoes.
Yep,
that's a beautiful thing, really, and I really appreciate that.
Thanks, Carlos. Thanks, Carlos. Appreciate it, man.
This has been the Complex Sneakers Podcast. We hope everyone has a great weekend. Please like, subscribe. We will see you next week.